Hello everyone and welcome to the Tank Club. I'm TC Lee and today we're going to do a video on New World and whether or not it's worth starting playing this game in 2022. So this is a game that I've picked up again recently as of sort of July, August 2022. I just wanted to kind of share some of my experiences with the game and whether or not it's worth playing it now. Obviously, when this game launched, it launched to a lot of hype, and at the time, it failed to meet the hype that was going around about the game. There was a lot of problems, there was a lot of issues, there was duping, there was the server issues, there was all that kind of stuff going on. Fast forward to now, and the developers of the game have done a lot to make this a much, much better game. And from my experience playing this game over the last few weeks, again, I've had so much fun. And I just wanted to kind of share some of my experiences with you guys and kind of help you make a decision on whether or not it's worth playing this game now in 2022. So number one, we've got the ease to play this game. So it's a very easy to play game. It's very easy to pick it up as a beginner player. They've made some adjustments to the experience gain, so it's easier now to get experience. It requires less XP. It's not as much of a grind. A lot of my friends have joined me on this game over the last couple of weeks, and we're having great fun together. So, some people have been playing this game a week and a half, 2 weeks, got to level 60, that's the max level. So it's not difficult to reach that max level. So there's a lot of things that have been adjusted to make this more beginner friendly. Not only is this game very beautiful, it's fantastic, the graphics look great, it looks beautiful, the environment is very, very nice. If you buy this game, it's a one-off purchase, there's no subscription fee, there's no pay to win. So some very good things there. Some of the things they've adjusted are things like the storage management. So initially, you were only able to access your storage in one city, and then you had to pay to get items from other storage containers in other cities to bring it back to that one. Now, as long as you travel to a city, you unlock that storage, and then you can access that from every single place that you go to. So it's accessible. We've then got the travel on the game was very, very expensive at launch. They've reduced that down now. It's very easy to travel around. It's very, very cheap to travel to the shrines. It doesn't cost you very much. It's very easy to do now. So you just unlock the shrine and then you can fast travel there, and it doesn't cost very much at all. So they've made those adjustments. In terms of like one of the reasons to play now, the crafting system. So I will say it's one of the best crafting systems, and there's like an end game. There's a long-term playability to crafting and gathering and refining. There is like an end game part of that. You've got the aptitude system, which is like a mastery system, and when you reach the max level of a craft or a gathering or whatever it is, you then start to progress your aptitude levels. And what this is you will like kind of unlock 3 stages every level where you get a box with a bunch of rewards in. You also get some gypsum in there as well, which means you can purchase some high level weapons and gear when you reach level 60. So there's like an end game to crafting. It's possible to recraft things that you pick up along the way. So you might pick up some gear in one of the expeditions that you really like. You can then go and recraft that now with different stuff as well. There's things like the improved deconstruction system. That is a new thing that's just recently been added. When you deconstruct items, you get a lot more gold now. You get some items that you can use to get more materials back. You get a whole bunch of different stuff now. It's actually worth deconning some of the more valuable items, and you can get some other things now. There's extra benefits, there's materials, there's experience, there's other things that you can gain from deconstructing items. It's now possible to craft kind of high level gear, so that's 600 gear score gear. So when you reach level 60, you then start leveling up your gear score, and your gear score is pushing you towards that kind of end game scenario. So point number 2, it's very easy to catch up now. You've got the summer event that is on right now. Within that event, you can pick up some patterns for creating 600 gear score gear. Now these patterns can be accessed with just regular event tokens, not the premium event tokens. You just collect regular event tokens. They're quite easy to come by. The event, by the way, is a great event. I really, really enjoy the event, and I will again praise the event actually because it's very nice. It's a pretty cool event. There's some good rewards, and it's aimed very, very much towards players like me and you who might be just coming back to the game, or we're new to the game and we're kind of very behind compared to the long-term players. But that's not a problem because you pick up these 600 gear score patterns and you can just craft the gear. You don't need to have your crafts leveled up. You can craft it with 0 into the armor crafting, and you can still craft 600 gear score gear. Obviously, the materials that you need for that are quite expensive. We did it yesterday, about 5,000 gold's worth of materials per piece. But you can save these plans and upgrade them when you actually get leveled up and when you have the gold saved. So there is a it's a great time to get back in now while the event's on, while they've made all these adjustments. Like I say, there's XP adjustments, the storage adjustments, the travel adjustments, all of the things, no subscription needed. And then like the improved crafting system as well. Like I say, the crafting, fantastic. I absolutely love the gathering, the crafting, all those things, brilliant. As we move on to like point number 2, it is easy to catch up. One of the other things, you've got many ways to kind of increase your gear score now. So you can do expeditions, killing bosses, doing your end game like crafting. So for me, I do my fishing now because I'm at level 200 fishing. Now I'm getting the aptitude levels. Now when I get to the first stage of an aptitude level every day, which is very easy to do during the event especially, that's giving me a box and a gypsum orb. And these gypsum orbs can be found in many, many different ways, by killing bosses, doing portals, PvP things. There's loads and loads of ways to get them. You can then go and spend them at the gypsum station to get items that will increase your gear score. There are many, many people. There's a lot of activity in the game. I play on Dry Tree EU server. It's packed out full, and there's loads and loads of people running the elite chests and all that kind of stuff. Loads of people running expeditions. So it's a great time to get in because there's so many ways to increase gear score. You're not going to get stuck there for a long time grinding out your gear score. Yes, it does take a bit of grinding out. It does take a bit of effort to get to that max gear score. But you can just get there quite easily. You can get to 600. You can upgrade your gear at 600. It's possible to upgrade 600 gear score gear with materials. With shards, you can upgrade your gear to 625. So fantastic. And like I say, great time to get in, and it's easy to catch up now compared to how it was before. Number 3, we've got the PvE content. So if you've seen any of my content before, you'll know I play as a PvE tank mostly in other games, and I intend to play as a PvE tank in this game as well, alongside other things. Now, what this means is we're looking for lots and lots of engaging PvE content. We've got expeditions in this game, and there are new expeditions being added pretty often. So we've got quite a few different ones we can do now at different level stages. So it's progressive. So there's the first one at level 25. You get one at 35, one at 45. You get them increasing in difficulty as they increase in level. You've then got some level 66 expeditions. But not only that, once you've got to the point where you've got really high gear score, you then also have the mutated expeditions, which means you can do much more difficult expeditions now. So there's like an end game scene now. These expeditions with the mutations are like hard modes, but they increase in difficulty. You've got a level 1 to 10 in difficulty level of these mutations. So you've got something to work towards. You're going to get better rewards as you start doing the more difficult mutations, and honestly, it's something that you can really strive towards. There are no keys needed anymore for expeditions, which is a roadblock that was there before. You had to buy keys, or you had to earn keys, you had to craft the keys, and it was a bit less accessible. Now the expeditions are wide open and very easy to get into. The group finder is on the way as well. There's going to be a group finder for finding people for expeditions and different content. That is going to make it even easier. It's going to reduce the chat spam, and this is a good time to start getting into that kind of content. In terms of PvE, there is enough to keep you busy in PvE when it comes to the quest inside. The Overland is difficult. There are various bosses. Rafflebones, the Wandering Boss. It's like a random spawning boss. It spawns in different areas. It has to be killed really quick. It's got some very nice rewards. Really cool idea. Really hope they add more things like that in the future, and more kind of world bosses as well, and Overland boss areas. You've got a lot of elite areas that are a great lot of fun, especially if you do them in smaller groups. There's arenas and trials for 5 people that you can get into. Like I say, a lot of fun, and there's a lot of content to get through for a PvE player. Number 4, we've got the kind of PvP side of things. So there is going to be a sort of future update. Apparently they're testing wars for an instance environment, so that it's going to reduce the amount of lag for wars, so that they perform at a much higher standard. So that is something to look forward to. In terms of PvP, you've got the 3v3 arenas, you've got the outpost rush improvements. There's lots of different things that have been improved on the PvP side of things. Obviously, this originally was intended to be like a full PvP game, and it just so happens to have drawn in a lot of PvP and PvE players. So you will find fights. Obviously there's a lot of people who don't like to have PvP turned on, but I do like the game in the fact that it's got that company thing, it's got that engaging PvP, and I think it's nice to see that they are bringing new game modes and bringing new ideas towards the PvP side. Obviously you've got the Azoth Salt now, which gives you a different reward tree to work along, especially on the PvP side of things. So this game appeals greatly to PvP players as well. It's quite fast paced, and yeah, it's, if you're looking for a good combination of PvP and PvE content, then this is where you want to be looking. Number 5, we've got the kind of communication, and there are weekly patches and bug fixes, regular balancing of the game. There are regular dev updates, and do try to communicate with people in a pretty positive way, and that's good to see. We've got a new zone coming soon as well, which should be exciting. It'll be the first time they've added like a new zone to this game. And then there's like a lot of recent updates. There's regular updates. That's the thing that I like. There's regular updates. The most recent update, summer update, they brought in instruments, which when you play an instrument, you get a buff, and you can play instruments within a group. And it's definitely brought like the towns to life and brought a bit more vibrancy to the game. So when you're walking around the streets, people will be playing different instruments, different music. You can play in a 5-person little band, and you can get some buffs for doing so as well. So there are lots of new ideas coming, and I do like to see that they are adding lots and lots of fresh ideas, and constantly looking for different feedback and information and opinions on the game, so that we can help to contribute towards a better game in the future. So that is just a short recap on a few reasons why I think you should give this game a try. If you've already bought the game at launch, you already own the game. It's not going to cost you anything to get back into it and give it a second try. I myself have become quite addicted to it over the last 2 weeks, especially now I've started playing with friends. I think that's one of the big things. If you try and play this game completely solo, it can get a bit bland very quickly. When you are getting into a company and you are interacting with other players and you are kind of doing some of the group content and you're having some fun, this game becomes very addictive, very fun, and I'm very much enjoying it. Like I say, a lot of people have joined me recently, so people who watch my Twitch streams have bought this game because I'm playing it and I've kind of guided them along the way, and now they're hooked on it as well, and we're just having a great time. If you are interested in joining my company, we play on the EU server Drytree. We're yellow, and we are called Circulus, and you can kind of find us over there, and we are progressive company who are trying to teach people about the game. We're trying to grow, and in the future obviously we'll start participating in a lot more content. So that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.